Hi, I'm David Partika, and I created CSS Burner as a rapid optimization tool for CSS. Here I have a scanned style sheet, and I want to just give you a tutorial today on how to use the output navbar on the top here. So the output is always going to be the marked up CSS styles, so your scan style sheet, which is going to be in this black box. And let's go over all of the nav menu functions for this output box and how they can help you. So there are currently 9 functions, and if I get much more than this, I might start to condense this into some kind of grouped functionality. But anyway, right now we see that the first 3 icons relate to navigation to errors in a highlighted set, or a highlighted set of errors or warnings or optimizations. So nothing will happen until you highlight something, and the tooltip tells us this: no errors have been highlighted yet. So let's take one of the errors here, and I've now highlighted the set, and now at this point we see that the tooltip changes and we can go to specific errors. So for example, if we want to go to the next error in the set, we can click the right arrow, or the right chevron technically. If we want to go to the previous error, left chevron. If you want to go from the first error to the last error in the set, just click the left chevron when you're already at the first error in the set, or the first highlighted marked up block. And we could do the same thing if we're at the last one. Then if we click the right chevron, we go back to the first. And every time that you click a chevron, whichever specific highlighted member of the set you're at, there's going to be this little red box. You see it's like a dotted box. I don't know if you can see, but when we click on the next, we see that this little dotted box has now gone to this next member in the set. And now I'm going to show you the final function, which is go back to the first error. So if we want to always go back to the first error in the set, no matter where we are, we can click this go back to first. Okay, so those are the first 3. Those are navigation to specific errors. Now, at some point, you might find yourself that you're so far down in the output container, or somewhere in the middle, that you just might want to go to the last, or back to the first part of the output. So in other words, the top or the bottom. So if we want to go to the top of the output container, we have an animated scroll function, which takes us to the top. And conversely, if we want to go to the bottom, this function, the down arrow, will take us to the bottom. Now you might find, moving on, you might find that the text is a little too small or too large for your liking. So I've added these magnification icons. So each click will either increase or decrease the font size by 1 pixel, depending upon which icon you click. So if we click the increase text size, we get, it's a little slow because my laptop right now is kind of bogged down. So we see that now we've increased the text size, but if we want to now decrease, again, it's a little slow because there's a lot of output in this container. Okay, and so now that decrease, let's do it one more time. Okay, so those are the reduce and enlarge functions for text, but there is a limit. You can't make the text, I think I've set it like 4 or 6 pixels as the smallest, and something like 20 pixels or 25 as the largest. Now, if we want to go full screen, this next icon to the right, this gives us full screen mode. I won't click it because if I do, my screen recorder, I'm assuming it's a bug, the screen recorder actually stops recording. So I'm not done yet, and so I'm not going to click this, but this will take us to full screen mode using the full screen API. If you just want to expand as large as possible, that's what this will do. And finally, if we want to reset and get us back to the initial state so we can rescan, we can enter some more CSS into the text area. Maybe you want to subscribe to the newsletter. Whatever, the reset button, which we'll click now, resets it, and here we are back to our initial state. So that's a short tutorial on how you use the output nav menu. Again, there are 9 functions right now that might change in the future. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, if you found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to Optimize CSS yet, that's CSS Burner's official channel. Please do so and look for some more help and strategy tutorials in the near future.